Welcome to the Narrate podcast, where we aim to tell God's story with our lives. We'll be continuing to post the Sunday message each week, but we want to dive a little deeper and offer some content to supplement your life with God, and that's where our Beyond Sunday series comes in. Join Adam and Narrate staff as they provide thoughtful discussions, ideas, and interviews that go beyond the message you'll hear on Sunday. Hi, Narrate. In this episode, Adam gets to sit down with Grandstreet's managing director, Danielle Wineman, just to hear about the updates and renovations they're doing in November. So you'll hear Adam reference us holding services in 326 during that time. So we just want you to know that next week's Beyond Sunday, we're going to lay out a more in-depth plan for that season in 326. So this episode focuses on Grandstreet, but next week you'll get to hear more about our exciting plans for 326. So stay tuned and hope you enjoy this conversation with Danielle Wineman.
So I'm sitting here with Danielle Wineman, who, what is your technical title?
I'm the managing director of Grandstreet Theatre.
There you go. That's a very important position in a very, what would you say, highly respected institution.
I'd like to think so.
You have a pretty long history with them though, right? Like, what is the background?
Yeah, so I started coming to Grandstreet when I was a sophomore in high school, and I was in the summer conservatory program. And it was a production of The Secret Garden, directed by Jeff Downing, which we just closed a production of The Secret Garden, directed by Jeff. And I was hooked. I'm originally from Cut Bank, so coming here and experiencing this was one of my first big, theater moments, because we don't have anything like Grandstreet up in Cut Bank. So I was hooked, and then I've spent almost every summer since then at Grandstreet in some capacity, whether that was teaching, on stage. I was in the orchestra for one of the shows.
Wow.
And in 2023, I came on as the director of marketing and sponsorships, which was a nice welcome home.
Okay.
I was living in New York at the time, and when this position became available, it was an easy yes to come back and come home. And then in 2024, I moved into the interim managing director position and ultimately into managing director.
Wow.
So it's a place I've loved since I was a kid, and it's an honor to serve in this capacity now.
Well, ultimately, we're going to talk about your remodel, but actually now I have one more question of how did a 14-year-old, 15-year-old girl from Cut Bank have an imagination for theater? Like, how did it move so quickly to you? You moved to Helen and you did summer school, or the summer conservative?
So when I was a first grader, we had Missoula Children's Theater come through town, and that was really our only theatrical opportunity in Cut Bank. And I walked off stage as a first grader and told my parents I wanted to be an actor one day, and they never said no.
Wow.
And so I knew I wanted to be in theater. I knew I wanted to be in the performing arts, and I had two incredible parents who I'm sure were not thrilled to hear. Yeah, they were not theater people, but they never told us no, and they were always very straightforward about, as long as you work hard and as long as you've got grit and integrity and drive, you're and when my mom was the director of a program called Distinguished Young Women. At the time it was called Junior Miss, which was a scholarship organization dedicated to helping rising seniors in high school find scholarships and opportunity. And ultimately it's a competition, and there was one year where a young woman named Josie Adams came to Cut Bank and competed and won, and my mom would essentially adopt these girls. They became sisters of mine and best friends of mine. And Josie's mom, Mary Ann Adams.
No way. Oh, wow.
Was very much like, hey, I don't know this world very well. Help Josie as much as you can. And my mom was like, well, you work at a theater. I have two kids who are interested in theater, and I don't know that world at all. And that's how we got introduced to the summer program. And so my brother actually was in the summer before I came, and we both fell in love with the place. And
so you came down before even living here, then? Is that so? It's not like your family didn't move here. You just came down for the summer.
We just came down for the summer. I lived with Mary Ann, and then I would come down during the summers. And
that's awesome.
Yep, and then go home to Cut Bank and dream about coming back the next summer. And
Wow.
but it's a very, very small world, and that's how ultimately I heard about Grandstreet was through that. So
That's amazing. It's crazy how the little tiny things can grab our vocational callings.
Yeah.
So in addition to all of that, you're suddenly like kind of a construction manager too.
Yeah.
So I just thought, I mean, we'll talk a little bit about this in shorter form on the stage, and it's going to come up a lot next year, but I'm excited to give people this occasion to go, what is this remodel project that the Grandstreet is embarking on? Like, what is it and why are you doing it?
Yeah, so Grandstreet turned 50 years old this year, making us one of the longest running community theaters in the state of Montana. And in this next chapter of ours, we're looking to really do some of the capital improvements that we've kind of dreamed of and had hoped for. And as we sat down and really looked at our goal list, there were a lot of things that, well, if we're going to do this one, we'd also need to do this one over here. So it became let's do it all at the same time. And when I stepped into the managing director position, these plans had already started going in motion. And so we started the Act 2 campaign, which is a $1.5 million initiative to sustain really kind of 3 categories of people, places, and production. So the aspect that we're really focusing in on is our place, is our space. So we are working through a couple of different projects, one of which is a box office remodel, where we'll move the box office from one side of the building to the other.
So that little side door becomes a box office door only.
Yep, and so we'll use those 2 main front doors as our main doors.
Okay.
This will allow our audiences and our patrons to be able to access downstairs a lot easier and before the show starts, rather than having to wait until the curtains open.
Because there'll be a direct access to the stairs then. Okay.
We're also looking, because we're moving the box office, it kind of sparked us to take the next steps in our HVAC project, which is improving the heating and cooling system.
We all remember that because we went a summer without air conditioning.
Oh my gosh.
We bought this giant swamp cooler. You probably remember some of that.
Yeah, a little bit, but this now is going to be, we're going to take the boiler out in the middle of winter, so we'll be without heat, and we didn't have air conditioning in the summer, now we won't have heat in the winter. Whoa. So we're really good at planning that part of it.
Are they actually going to like cut the boiler in half and like haul it out of there?
I don't know what the magic they're going to work is, but
it's being removed.
Yeah, we're going to move into a furnace system, which also means that the radiators in the aisleways will be gone.
Oh, so more room.
So more room, which I think will really help with our ADA accessibility. Right now, if you come to the theater, you can use our ADA entrance on the side, but if you're coming up through the aisleways, it can get pretty cramped.
Sure.
So this will open it up, allow for more access up and down those aisleways.
Sweet.
The other thing we'll be working on is replacing all the carpet in the theater, which is really exciting.
We've played a role in wearing it out. So, yeah.
And one of the big things that we've looked at for many years is we're so blessed to have such a cool space architecturally. The historical value of that place is just breathtaking. And those arches are just so cool and such a big staple of the image of the theater.
You're talking up in the ceiling.
Yeah. But those arches were not built to sustain the weight of our contemporary lighting equipment. So we want to make sure that we're being good stewards of our building, and so we're adding in a skeletal lighting truss system on the stage side of the arches. So when you walk in, you'll still see the beautiful architecture, but as you get closer to the stage, you'll see that there's this metal structure that then will put the lighting equipment on there so that it doesn't warp or hurt the existing structure. Especially as we look to update our lighting equipment anyway, it's not getting any lighter.
Sure. Those robo lights, I'm guessing, are really heavy.
Yeah, so we're looking to make those updates so that when you walk in, you know that those arches are going to have the integrity that they've always had. So
love that. Does that mean that you're also repainting? or are they just going to patch around the new truss?
They'll patch. So right now the truss will won't go too far into the wall, so it'll be patching as we go.
Perfect.
And we've worked with Slate Architecture pretty closely on all of these, as well as Morris and Merrily, to make sure that all of these improvements have been well thought out. And I know when I stepped into this position, they were already in drafts of what this could all look like.
Sweet.
And then as we started doing our season planning, an opportunity came up to do How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And when we thought about this show, we're like, why not do that over at the Civic Center?
Because it's so popular.
It's just so popular. And so when that idea came up, it turned into the perfect amount of time to get all of these improvements done at once, rather than closing for one side of it and then having to close again in a few years.
Yeah.
So we went full steam ahead and now are doing all of this construction between November and March of this next season.
So the theater will, I think the phrase you guys use is go dark after your fall show in October. And the intention is to then reopen when?
So for us, the intention is to reopen with our next production of Come From Away in the spring.
Is that April?
Yes.
Yeah.
The construction is set to, knock on wood,
Right.
I say this lightly, should be done mid-March, but we'll start welcoming audiences back in April.
Yeah. Sweet. That's exciting and a lot of work. So you said 1.5 million.
Yes.
How far are you in that?
So we have collected about $910,000.
Wow.
So these capital campaign improvements are just part of what we're working toward.
I see.
There are other, buckets we're working to fill, and more information can be found on our website about those. But right now, the bulk of our attention is on.
Does that mean so the 910 covers what you're going to do, and then the other 600 is other things you would do, or?
Yeah, the other, we're continually looking for more space. We're always looking for how can we open our doors wider. What is the work that we're doing, and how can we get more people involved? So right now we're continuing to look for more classroom spaces, rehearsal spaces. We're looking to make sure that the retention of talent opportunities are available. How can we make sure that we're funding so that we're bringing in, for our summer productions. Our summer productions also work as our conservatory program. So providing once in a lifetime opportunities to our students. So making sure we have the funds then available to make sure they're getting that experience. I remember when I came for the conservatory program, we had some of actors I had seen on television here in Helena teaching us, which is really cool. So making sure that
those are big ticket items.
We're not limited by just budget when we're looking at these opportunities.
And if so, lest we stray from this, if someone wanted to give, because that's part of why I just invite people to be financially involved, how would they go about that?
Absolutely. There's so many different ways to give. We're looking at people who are giving, whether it's a one-time pledge, or we have people who have set up a 5-year plan for pledges.
Oh, okay. It's like a church capital campaign.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're also welcoming, as I'm not someone who can make a long-term pledge, so setting up recurring donations, whether that's $10 a month, $15 a month,
wow.
Something that fits within your budget but is going to create a lasting impact.
Wow.
And then we're also working not only for this campaign, but it's always a tough conversation to have about that planned giving, and working that into those conversations as well.
Like estate planning, is that what you mean? Yeah.
So those are all sorts of different ways to give, whether you have $10 you can give a month. I know that's when I look at it, I'm like, that's 2 of my Starbucks coffees a month going toward probably something that's far more more meaningful than my sugar intake.
Sure.
Or we can look into one-time or 5-year pledge agreements as well.
They can find all that online?
They can find that online or contact us through our website. We have an entire campaign committee that would be happy to talk further about that and make sure that any donations and pledges are going to help support the things that the community is passionate about as well.
So I want to come back to that, but I'm distracted by, you said we had an opportunity to do the Grinch, which maybe gives idiots like me a chance to know how theater planning works. Because I would have just assumed like you always just go like, oh, this year we'll just do this. That's not how it works.
No, it's a tricky puzzle when putting a season together. First of all, every title that we see on stage is owned by a licensing company, and whether those licenses are available or not.
Is that like because they only do them periodically, or so many per year? Or
so it's a variety. So one of the big theatrical companies that we work with is like Disney Theatricals. Disney Theatrics, that's it.
Okay.
They're the people who like own like Little Mermaid, Mary Poppins, and so they are very strategic on how you can watch it, where you can watch it.
Wow.
So if there's like a current Broadway production, you can't get the license for it.
Okay, that makes sense. So they're not
because they
idiots.
want you to go
Sure.
spend the money there. Once it's out in the world and available for licensing, they do keep track of where performances are happening. So if like we're doing it, there'll be more limiting on like if Missoula can do it.
Okay.
If Missoula's doing that production, they might not let us do it.
Wow.
Because they
so
want
you can apply, but they might just say nope.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And so there are some titles that have been very exclusive to certain theaters. I got my master's degree at University of California, San Diego, and just down the street from there is the Old Globe Theater, and they have had kind of an exclusive hold on How the Grinch Stole Christmas, so no other theater in the country was able to do it.
Whoa. Must have been profitable.
Very, and so it was a shocking kind of to all of us when all of a sudden the license became available for How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And so to be able to jump on it, and we've been waiting and wanting to do this show. And so
it's going to be huge.
It's going to be huge,
I'm like,
and we're
have
so
to go to this
excited.
because my mom loves the Grinch, and I'm like, can I please never watch the Grinch again? But she will want to go watch the live Grinch.
Yeah, and like we've all grown up with the different versions of the Grinch.
Right, and when I say not watch it again, I mean like on TV.
Yeah, but we've all seen the wonderfully animated one to the Jim Carrey one to the newly animated one, and and now we'll have the Grandstreet version of it. So we were like, how can we make this as big as possible? And what we learned with our concert this past year, where we were able to get 1,600 people to show up for our 50th anniversary concert, I'm like, we know we can fill those seats. And so being the most mindful and the most courteous of our time and our students and our resources, that we decided that the Civic Center was the perfect venue for that. And then again, when we looked at the calendar, we're like, oh my gosh, the exact amount of time that we were recommended for this construction is now right in front of us.
Wow. Just because you pulled your December show. Yeah. Wow.
So we've been doing 2 Christmas productions for a couple years now. And the hard part is if we did Grinch at the Civic Center, it meant we couldn't do Christmas Carol.
I see.
So we've been doing a Christmas Carol at the Civic Center Ballroom for many years now, and we have full intention of bringing that back in future seasons.
Because you can't get the Grinch every year.
We can't, no, and our students always want something new and exciting to work on. So we've had, Frozen, we've had Alice in Wonderland the past couple of years. So we'll return to that kind of structure the following year. But this one was just a perfect opportunity.
That's fun.
Yeah.
And neat how all that worked out. And of course, there's people listening to this going like, what does this mean for Narrate? And we'll talk about that in some other context. But I suppose probably should name that, we do have plans and we had options. But the thing that we're excited about that honestly it arrived after a long process is just staying involved. So the short is, and we'll talk more about this in greater detail, is we're gonna actually host 3 gatherings in 326. this may be the first time people are hearing this, we're excited about an idea to use the Grandstreet studio as kind of a lobby. So we think that'll take the edge off of how small that space is. It's limited to 99 people. But the more exciting thing is that what I love is that allows us to stay in partnership with you guys, and that even a Sunday, I mean, selfishly, there's this like, if we were going to go somewhere else and suck, like that would just be a bummer. Not that, I mean, the Myrna was welcome and that would have been really fun. They just don't have room for kids. But then the other piece was, we can all appreciate a remodel, and we can all appreciate like the spaces being renovated. And I love that, having been there since 2010, our staying involved and in some ways in partnership with the remodel will just kind of project like, yeah, the space we normally use is under construction and we're doing this, but we're also we're set, which we could talk more about off air, about space.
For sure.
Like our council, I mean, this is public, our council just approved us spending $25,000 to improve, to make the appropriate improvements to the spaces that we need to use for that year, because their attitude is that can't just stink. Like, we want people to walk into 326.
Yeah.
We want them to be proud of the space. We're never going to be the Grandstreet. As you pointed out, it's so beautiful, but we have plans to do the sound even better, to do video even better, to do the lobby even better.
But I think it's also speaks to, like, that's what this building was built for.
Oh.
If we look back at the history of the building, when it was built in 1901, it was the first Unitarian Church of Helena. But even in their construction and even in their desire for that building, it was always meant to be a multifaceted place. Wow. And we have in our archive work that we found we found like programs from violin recitals that talk about being at the First Unitarian Church. Wow. It was the place of like public discussion. If the city needed a place to meet and hold meetings, the Unitarian Church was often the first to raise their hand and say, please have it in our space, because it was supposed to always be a community welcoming place. So
that's super cool.
When they gifted the building to the city in the 30s,
which would have been during right after the Great Depression.
I believe it was the 33 that they gifted. I might not be fully accurate, but from my remembrance in this moment,
made like 32 years or so. Wow.
And they asked that, as a gift to the city, that it continue to be a public welcoming space. Wow. And so that's why it became the library. Okay. And so then when Grandstreet came into holding it in 1976, it was still always our intention for community and to open it. So as the relationship between Grandstreet and Narrate continues to grow, it means the world to us for you guys to still be in this with us, because that was always the intention of this place, was to be community and to be in it together and to be a thriving place for all of us to gather.
Yeah. You guys are disproportionately kind to us, so thank you. We're excited to be a part of the space. So are you, I guess I have another logistics question. When you redo the lobby, are you still going to do concessions upstairs and down, or is the idea to get everybody down?
I think that
to be determined.
As we continue to look at Grandstreet as a whole, even show by show, the goal is to always start shows on time. And so our plan is to mostly navigate toward concessions being downstairs, but in also our accessibility purview, it's not always easy to get down there. So making sure we still have spaces for people to get to that. And by opening up that space and by opening up those aisleways, we also create an avenue where people can accessibly get concessions themselves. And as we continue to grow and as we continue to look at our spaces, I would love for patrons to be able to have a full autonomous experience. And so being able to come in through that door, being able to go and get their tickets. One of our, in the look of the box office, Slate has done an incredible job of maintaining the look and feel of the original building, of the original plans. But we've also taken into account accessibility. So in looking at the box office, there will also be not only the box office window, but an opportunity to have like we have one of those, like, what is the double doors where the top opens.
Like Animal Farm or whatever?
Yeah. So there's going to be a shorter door.
Wow.
So that then you could pull your wheelchair to it and be able to have the conversation with the box office manager without having to look over a giant
that's awesome.
box office counter. So we are looking into continuing to have concessions upstairs in order to maintain that. Whether that's open or not is based off of the ability of bartenders and things like that.
But
which also, if anyone's ever interested in becoming a bartender for Grandstreet, we're always kind of have a rolling hiring if you have your serve safe.
It's just a part-time gig where you're selling beer and wine and all the things. I think,
it's an easy little...
It kind of sounds... you probably get to watch the show for free-ish, or listen to it.
Free-ish, and be around the theater, and it's super fun, super easy.
There you go. Part-time job. It's like working at the Blackfoot, only now that they're open till 10, you don't have to stay till 10.
Well, that depends on the show.
That's true. I think I know a couple of people who do, or one person who does it, and they really enjoy it. Makes sense. What else? Anything else construction-wise? Or information? People, I hope people participate, and I guess Narrate people should know, like, part of our commitment is we're gonna continue paying rent per normal, which that's
just so gracious.
Well, also, like, to your guys' credit that you haven't come to us and went like, you've played a role in wearing out the carpet. So, I hope it's win-win at best. And so on that level, like, if you're a giver at Narrate, you're participating on some level, but also I think even thinking about myself, like, we should probably all think about what would it look like to one time or ongoing participate in such a great space.
Yeah, and feel free to reach out to me with anything. My email is Danielle at Grandstreet Theatre. Theater spelled with an .com.
We once got rebuked for that, properly so, because we didn't know that. We were spelling it ER for a long time, and some very graciously at one point they're like, "Could you please spell it RE?" Which the computer autocorrect hates.
Oh my gosh!
Is that English spelling? Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's the old English spelling. The other one will also say is the people who make Grandstreet 2 words.
Oh, I'll bet.
But luckily for an email address, that's not too worried. But
we're Narrate, and the number of times when I say to people, just last week talking to the pipe and drape lady, giving her my email, she's like, "What is your email?" It says Adam at Narrate Church. Narrate? Like it just throws people off. I'm like, it's just like the word.
Nope. No, sweet. So please feel free to contact me and or stop by the theater. Come have a chat with us. We're happy to talk.
Sweet. Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for hosting us.
If you'd like to learn more about Narrate Church, find us online at narratechurch.org.
You can also look us up on Facebook or Instagram. Thanks for listening.